In just over 3 years, restoration of the pavement and archaeological research have been ongoing at the Holy Sepulcher. During a recent visit, Professor Francesca Romana Stasolla, archaeologist from La Sapienza University in Rome, guided us through the penultimate sector of the excavation area, down to about 6 meters deep. This does not mark the conclusion of the project, but it is a significant milestone in the study of the site, with possibilities for further investigation.
Questa cava, dopo essere stata sfruttata per l'estrazione del materiale, è stata progressivamente riempita.
This quarry, after being exploited for material extraction, was gradually filled with soil to make it first cultivable and later buildable. A Roman religious structure was built on it, whose remains have been found. Immediately above it, after that structure's destruction, rose the Christian complex of the 4th century. Finally, the Crusader pillars still visible today. So we are faced with an extraordinary sequence of settlements and chronology that this area alone reveals.
E sequenza cronologica che proprio quest'area restituisce tutta.
This is documentation of great archaeological importance, supported by materials that include the excavation sequence and cataloguing of the finds from a site with a long history.
Si fa attraverso una raccolta minuziosa di tutto e un'analisi non solo degli elementi ritrovati dal punto di vista archeologico.
A meticulous collection of everything is being done, and analysis not only of the artifacts from an archaeological perspective, but also of soil sediments for paleobotanical study, animal bones to understand dietary habits, and pollen analysis. Soil studies help us understand how archaeological layers were formed. This is an interdisciplinary investigation aimed not only at reconstructing the monumental sequence, but the entire life of this area of Jerusalem, the community that inhabited it, and the millions of people who came and left their mark.
Persone che sono venuti qui e che hanno lasciato traccia di questo passaggio. Questo è un monumento che
This monument is truly a heritage of humanity, so it's right that everyone has access to the information.
The site's archaeological legacy is also confirmed by the Gospels, which speak of the place where our Lord died, was buried and rose again. Together with Father Amedeo Ricco, who closely follows the work at the Holy Sepulcher, we explore the historical and archaeological memory of this sacred site for Christianity. For him, the rocky spur of Calvary, called Golgotha in Aramaic, is undoubtedly an authentic miracle of history.
Questa piccola altura che si alza di 5 metri rispetto al pavimento.
This small hill, which rises about 5 meters above the floor of the basilica, has managed to survive everything that has happened to this site throughout history. As we know from ancient sources and archaeology, Emperor Hadrian, when he wanted to rebuild the city of Jerusalem as a Roman colony, built here a public and religious complex dedicated to pagan deities.
Pubblico e religioso alle divinità pagane.
Brother Amedeo reminds us that many ancient sources, both in Greek and Latin, attest that the Christians of Jerusalem kept alive the memory of the place of Jesus' death and never forgot it. Even though they could not publicly celebrate their faith on Calvary, the Christians of Jerusalem never ceased to indicate and recognize the place of Christ's crucifixion, as confirmed by the sources.
È un punto fisso della
It is a fixed point of Christian faith and a fixed point in the city of Jerusalem. It managed to endure all the events of history because it remained elevated enough.
Rimaneva abbastanza in alto.
The rock was partially cut down during Constantine's time in the 4th century to allow the passage of pilgrims and to integrate it into the Grand Basilica project, conceived as the most beautiful church in the world.
L'archeologia ha aggiunto delle notizie che non conoscevamo.
Archaeology has added knowledge we didn't have from the Gospels. For example, these areas outside the city, cultivated with gardens and orchards, were all created within an ancient stone quarry.
All'interno di una cava di pietra.
The Gospel of John confirms that at the place of the crucifixion there was a garden, and in it a new tomb. Matthew specifies that the tomb belonged to Joseph of Arimathea, a member of the Sanhedrin, who wished to honor the Master by offering that nearby tomb for his burial.
Tutto sembrava perfetto.
Everything seemed perfect to give Jesus a burial that was quick, dignified, and respectful, even if there was little time.
Dignitosa, anche se il tempo era poco.